Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Pay-per-view featured bout of the evening brought to you by Canelo Promotions and TGB Promotions in association with Matchroom Boxing. Sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is...
Errol Spence, the other welterweight champion, who watched that knockdown, put his hand to his face, and said, I'm out of here.
Mr. Thurman, what did you think of the atmosphere here today?
Oh man, the atmosphere was amazing. Brought us back to that epic, energy that Thurman, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Pacquiao, just the big fights, man, where the fans really come out to support. You have.
We'll finish 12 rounds, but
Crawford he did a good job.
Is Crawford pound for pound number one? Pound for pound number one?
I think so.
Is Bud pound for pound number one? Pound for pound number one?
Yeah, I think so, I think, Crawford is pound for pound number one. It's the best, especially.
Because it's not interesting to see the fight when one person doesn't want to win at all. But it was hard fight for Canelo because he was always aiming. And
Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez just had the most important fight of their lives. What we saw was even better than what boxing fans had hoped for. This wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a way to get money or just empty talk. Under the bright lights of Las Vegas, two pound-for-pound kings fought. They fought for 12 rounds, and the fight will be watched, talked about, and remembered for years to come. Maybe you thought Crawford was taking too many risks by moving up to weight classes. Or maybe you thought Canelo was already slowing down and ready to be beaten. This fight proved either way. Both of the men showed why they are great. The fight was over, but both men's names were still good, and people could argue about who won for a long time. Afterward, from the start, it was clear that neither man would have an easy time. Crawford chose not to run. He didn't fight, fearful in some places. He moved forward, changed stances, and used his timing to hit Canelo hard with quick responses. When people questioned his ability to handle the size, he always kept his cool. He used his footwork to keep Canelo from setting his feet too often, slipped shots, and threw good combinations. Canelo wasn't an easy target, though. He used his signature style of pressure by cutting the ring, hitting to the body, and clinching Bud to make him carry weight. People in the crowd shouted after every hook to the ribs. You could tell the change in weight. Several times during the fight, Crawford had to bite down on Canelo to keep him honest. It wasn't just one side's win. Strength and skill met in a back-and-forth game of chess. Crawford's speed would sometimes stop. Canelo shook his head back with counter-punches that hit hard. And Canelo's body shots made Bud move around, make adjustments, and try not to get caught on the ropes. The boxing world was split down the middle for weeks before the fight. Some experts looked at Crawford's eyes and said he had no chance of making it. Antonio Tarver stated before fight week that weight classes are there for a reason. Canelo Alvarez is a natural super middleweight fighter who often beats fighters who aren't as big. Even though Crawford is very skilled, he is taking on too much.
Best man did his thing, man. Crawford, I knew he was crafty. I told everybody he got a new nickname, Crafty Crawford, and he showed all that craftsmanship here tonight. The speed was too much. That 140 moving up, it happened to me and Pacquiao. Those little guys, as they move up, they bring all that speed, and he also had the power.
Everybody's seen that, right? Some people thought that greatness was dangerous. One of them was Andre Ward. As a former unbeaten winner who knows how to move up in the ranks, he made his choice right away. Crawford thinks like a killer. He said that he doesn't just adjust when he takes away your gun. You start to doubt yourself, but he is the smartest person Canelo has fought in years.
167 and a half.
That's right. That's right. Y'all seen that, right? Everybody seen that, right?
Like after that, there were the careful voices. Bernard Hopkins built it around the idea of mind. He said that Canelo was like Marvin Hagler, who was a versatile winner who lost when he didn't give a smaller, faster opponent enough credit. If Canelo gives Bud too much respect, it'll be a close fight, Hopkins said. But if he pushes hard and uses his size and strength, he might make Bud feel it faster.
What do you think about Canelo and Crawford?
I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fighters, then maybe you can have a good chance with Canelo. But I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be a problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. And he's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. If you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know. But everybody think, Crawford, he's a great boxer, he's this, he's that, which he is. He's a great fighter. And I think he's a great fighter at 140, 47. And he seems just to be, good at 54. And now we're going to 68.
How many more tricks has Canelo learned since you last fought him?
The opening bell was so exciting because everyone had something to say. The knowledge that one half of the world would be right and the other half would be wrong.
Tough Fight fans, it's official. I'm going to be the third man ringside calling the Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford fight September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. I'm excited to be a part of this event. I'm excited to be ringside calling this great card and this great matchup. Historic event for many, many reasons for both fighters. Super middleweight supremacy on the line. Legacy's on the line. Your namesake and reputation is on the line. And I just take my hat off to both of these fighters for putting everything on the line late in their careers the way that they are. This is rare, and it's becoming more and more rare in boxing. Guys don't want this kind of smoke. They really don't want to face another counterpart that can ruin everything that they built. And it really don't matter how much money's on the table for a lot of guys. They'd rather take a lesser risk for less money than to risk everything like these two fighters are doing. So I take my hat off to them. And I also want to give a shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh for all that he's done to put this fight on. Dana White for all that he's done to put this fight on. And one more person that stays out the way and you don't really hear a lot about, but that has done a lot to make this fight happen as well. And that's my brother Nick Khan. He just gets stuff done, man. And I want to thank him and shout him out as well for getting this done. So I see y'all in Vegas, man. Part of me wants to be home watching this fight in street clothes, but I got to take the street clothes off. I got work to do. I got to put that suit on, get ringside with John and Max, and call this fight like I know we can. Huge event, huge implications, historic night, and I'm happy to be a part. I hope to see you in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. If not, man, tune in live on Netflix.
What made this fight so interesting was how well it lived up to all the hype before it started.
Versus Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
September 13th. Now, what's interesting is I actually looked up the odds on this. I went on betonline.ag.
Yeah.
Canelo is minus 180. Crawford is 139, which means that Canelo is favored, not massively favored. So it's like the way this works is that you'd have to bet $180 to make $100. Almost 2-1, like 1.8 favored over Crawford, who's 139. So that means if you bet $100 on Crawford, you'll get $139 back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm just kind of learning this now. Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there. Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo part 2. That's what I think.
I mean, Canelo is naturally heavier.
Yeah, Crawford ain't gonna knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's gonna land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. That's what I'm thinking.
So he'll win the points. Okay.
Because points. I just think still Canelo needs to be set before he fires. His basics are solid, but Crawford is jazz fusion, I feel. He can do unconventional things where Canelo is conventional. He's perfect conventional, but it's kind of like, it's like Allen Iverson. It's the crossover. It's the thing that you just, just a little bit different. That just gives you, all you need is that little bit of an edge. And I think Crawford has that.
Canelo Crawford coming up September. What do you think about that fight?
Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight. Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength. Because it's hard to go up in the high weight and maintain your speed. So speed is the key. Like he should focus on speed, footwork, and improve the power.
What made this fight so interesting was how well it lived up to all the hype before it started.
How sure are you today that you win this fight?
I'm 1,000% sure now. You gotta think. Going into a fight, you don't know what's gonna happen. You can get injuries. He can get injuries. Like there's so many things that goes on in a boxing match. The judges, the ref, just everything, preparation. So you're not 100% sure. If a fighter say, "Oh, I'm 1,000% sure," they lying. Because you got to go out there and perform at the end of the day. And I'm more than ready to go out there and perform this Saturday.
The author worries about size. He was right about that. The hits that Canelo delivered were stronger, and over the course of 12 rounds, they tired out Crawford's body.
And Canelo only need one punch. You know what I mean? That really, basically, that's what it boils down to. I think Canelo only need one shot to change the game or change the fight. Crawford gonna have to stay consistent and win out. Gonna have to get ahead and stay ahead. You know what I mean? And then also looming is the controversy. Can Crawford win a close decision? I could never win a close decision. I never won a close decision. That's what's looming. I think if Crawford is going to guarantee victory, he got to stop him.
A man who ain't been stopped.
He got to stop him, bro.
Yes, challenge.
So that's going to be the challenge. So I like Bud. I've always loved Bud, bro. But he in for a hell of a fight. If Saul show up, it's going to be problems. You heard me?
Ward was also right when he said that Crawford would have a high IQ. Bud's changes in the middle of the fight kept him from getting too stressed out. Canelo looked like he was going to win several times, but Crawford always found a new way to slow him down. Also, Hopkins' idea about respect came to life during the first few rounds. Canelo left, but a little too much room, and chose to test him instead of pushing. Crawford was quick on his feet and able to steal moments. But as the fight went on, Canelo's pride got the best of him. He pushed harder, which made Crawford use fire to fight back. Because of this, there was a fight that felt like it could go either way based on what was more important to you. Canelo's more damaging blows or Crawford's more direct and quick reactions. Since Sean Porter knows Crawford well, he told me before the fight that Bud was a monster. This monster is different. Though from the stands, he nodded as Canelo's strength became clear in the middle rounds. But in the end, even Porter had to agree that Crawford's calm was beyond amazing. Interview 9. So during the fight, David Benavidez, who is becoming a threat at 168, wrote, "Respect to both. They fought, but I want Canelo next." That's how big the battle was. It wasn't just about Crawford and Canelo. It changed how the division would work in the future. Canelo wanted to show that he's still the king of super middleweight and the face of boxing. Even though some people said his best days were over, and no matter how you scored it, he did enough to keep the throne in danger but still whole. Crawford was all about having the guts to be great. He didn't just walk up and wait. He went into the lion's den and fought a fighter who was trained to beat smaller opponents. He didn't break. He showed that heart and IQ can go beyond race.
Like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different. I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo has, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean?
Both guys left the ring with better reputations. Crawford for being brave, Canelo for being tough. Unfortunately, the fight did not give us a clear answer. It brought back a memory that showed how special these two are. What's going to happen next? There is already talk of a second fight. People want to see this again. Maybe at a catchweight. Maybe with some new changes. Maybe to put an end to the argument for good. David Benavidez keeps an eye on Crawford and Canelo. There are still chances for 154 or 160.
I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a f what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit and they're happy with whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm #1 in the division, #1 contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the #1 or the #2 guys? He's asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's going to make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him at like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow, you do it.
But you know, some people say that you've not faced the level of power and precision to the body that Canelo brings. That is different. What do you think he brings? Anything different to the table that you haven't seen? Well, they always say that. You know, they say that with Spence. He's the body snatcher. He's going to break my ribs and so forth. You know, we shall see. How do you want people to remember this performance when it's all said and over?
Some people say that you've not faced the level of power and precision to the body that Canelo brings, that he's different. Do you think he brings anything different to the table that you haven't seen?
Well, they always say that, you know? They say that with Spence. He's the body snatcher. He's going to break my ribs and so forth. You know, we shall see.
How do you want people to remember this performance when it's all said and over? What's the headline the next day?
Listen, they gonna come up with their own analogy, you know? All I know is they're going to be saying Terence Crawford was spectacular September 13th.
What's the headline the next day? Listen, they're going to come up with their own analogy. You know, all I know is they're going to be saying Terence Crawford was spectacular September 13th. But for now, this fight is its own thing. It was a rare night for boxing. Two legends showed why they're called pound for pound great. That's all there is to it. The fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez lived up to all of Netflix's hopes. It wasn't just about simple stories. It was a fight of honor, skill, and feeling on the biggest stage in boxing history.